Now, we will insert the exact premium before passing the mandate to your bank. Now, if the proposal is not accepted at normal rates, the mandate will not be presented without your approval.
Ah. I shall have to think it over.
And a separate engine transmission oil system.
Yes, I quite like its looks.
Oh, yes, it's beautifully designed, and not just from the outside. Come and have a look at the interior. It's much more spacious and comfortable than you would expect. We're agreed, then, that this machine will increase productivity, and that with its minimal wastage and low running costs, you'll recover your investment in a couple of years. Well, I think that just about covers everything. Unless there isn't anything I've made quite clear. Listen. We don't find each other totally unattractive, do we?
No.
So you've got no objection if we get to know each other a little bit better?
No.
God, that's marvellous. Great. So I'll tell you what. Why don't we...
Yes?
See each other tomorrow sometime? Oh, good God, is that the time?
No. The town hall clock's suddenly gone berserk and it's really 4:20 in the afternoon.
I don't get it.
No, you certainly don't. Those who don't ask never do.
He's right, you know. Those that don't ask. Can't you see? You're a washout. The way to stop being scared of doing something is to go right out and do it. Right.
Oh, it's you.
Hello. I hope I didn't wake you up. You know, I was just thinking over what you said last night. You're absolutely right. Those who don't ask don't get.
Oh?
So from now on, I'm going to ask for it, every chance there is.
Oh.
And I tell you something else. I will not take no for an answer. Not for the first time, the second, or the third. Do you know, they reckon some of the best operators can get an answer the fifth time of asking?
Oh, really?
Ruthless determination, that's what's called for. And from now on, that is going to be me.
Well, you'd better bring your ruthless determination inside.
I won't be put off by no's. If I don't make it with one, I'll go on to the next, just as determined to get a yes.
The next?
And I shall keep on trying till it becomes second nature, a habit. I mean, all the rest of it, all the chatting up. It's a complete waste of time.
Oh, charming.
All the establishing needs bit, presenting benefits and so on. I mean, what's the good without an order?
An order? What are you talking about?
Closing the sale, asking for the order. What do you think I was talking about?
I thought you meant... Oh, never mind. And is that what you came here at this hour in the morning to tell me?
Yes.
Well, in that case, I might as well get dressed.
There was just one other thing.
Yes?
I was wondering if you could,
Yes?
sort of help me a bit with my techniques.
Techniques?
Yes. I mean, determination's all very well as far as it goes, but you see, I must have my techniques. So I thought if I swatted them up a bit, you could sort of test me and make sure I get them all right.
What is that? The Kama Sutra? Closing techniques.
Where are you going?
To put some clothes on. I might as well. How long have you had that book?
Oh, ages. It's part of the furniture.
And now you're reading it?
No, I read it before, but, well, see, to tell you the truth, this closing business is something I've always rather shied away from up till now. But what you said to me last night made me realize all the opportunities I've been missing, you know, for getting orders.
Well, I'm glad it achieved something.
It says here that the top salesmen, the super pros, the big earners, have a whole repertoire of closing techniques. It says I should learn them the way a judo black belt learns his holds and throws. He knows them so well that he instinctively uses the right one the moment he sees an opening. He's got an answer for every trick his opponent tries to pull.
Opponent? Well, surely customers aren't opponents. I mean, you've always said you only try to sell if you know the customer's got a need
or desire for the product and the means to pay for it.
Right. So you're on the same side, aren't you? You're partners, not opponents.
We should be. But you see, he's scared too, of change, of committing himself. And he'll dodge and twist to try and avoid a decision. So I've got to learn how to hold and throw him. He wants my car. He needs my life insurance. He can't do without my machine, and he can afford it. So, I've got to be cruel to be kind. Not just for my own sake, not even the company's, but for my customer's sake. I've got to know the techniques and be ruthlessly determined to use them.
Why are you looking so pleased with yourself? You haven't learned the techniques.
Oh, okay, I'll learn them.
You do that. And when I get back from the shops, I expect you to know every one of them.
Right, every one.
Still at it?
Just about done.
What's all that?
These are 10 tried and true methods of closing the sale.
Do you know them all?
I think so.
Good. Then we can relax. Drink? What are you doing?
Oh, you don't mind, do you?
Oh, let's go and sit down.
No, I must make sure that I know them all. After all, you did promise to help me, and you do want me to be a good closer, don't you?
If that's what it's called.
Right.
Right. What have we got here? The purpose of every closing technique is to bring you to the closing question. What's a closing question?
Well, a closing question is one to which a positive answer commits the customer to buy. And the most straightforward, simple way of getting the order is to ask for it. Come right out with a direct closing question, such as, well, that seems to be the one, sir. When shall we deliver it? We're agreed that with this machine, you'll recover your investment in a couple of years. Good. Can I have your approval to go ahead? That's agreed, then. So you will take the endowment policy. And that's the basic close. Ask for it. It often works. Lots of customers are only waiting to be asked.
Not only customers.
Pardon?
Nothing. I was just thinking. Yes, I'd love you to be a good closer.
Oh, great. Where was I? Oh, yes. Lots of customers are only waiting to be asked. But there are lots more who have this fear of committing themselves. Can I have your approval to go ahead?
Hey, now, look. Hang on a minute. Not so fast.
So what techniques do you use for them?
Something a little bit more subtle. The order form close. Now, you still ask the closing question, but you disguise it. Instead of a tough question like, will you buy it? You ask an easier one.
Like?
Like, could I have your initials, please, Mr. Grindley?
JW.
And the full postal address is NW3.
Yes, NW3 6HQ.
Every time the customer answers a question, he's confirming that he'll buy.
He's getting in deeper and deeper.
Right. And when he's answered all the questions on the order form...
You say...
Right, if you could just OK that for me, please, Mr. Grindley. Notice I didn't ask him to sign it, just OK it, so he's less likely to shy away. So, that's the order form close.
Good. Now tell me about the either-or.
The either-or close. Now that's another way of disguising the closing question as something less alarming. And it works like this. Would you rather have it in manual or automatic, sir? Would you rather have it galvanized or in the standard paint finish? Would you rather have the lump sum at age 65 or the annuity? And that's the either-or close.
Give me some more examples.
Let's see now. Would you like it in red or green? Large or small? Will you pay by cash or credit card?
Shall we go to your place or mine?
Oh, yes, that's very good, very good. Shall we have drink first or after?
Do you want the light on or off?
Yes, well, that's the either-or close. You see, the customer finds it easier to make that sort of choice than say between will you buy it or won't you?
But what you're really saying, I mean to the customer, is will you buy it or will you buy it? Crafty so-and-so.
You ain't seen nothing yet. Right, try him on the next.
Right, half Nelson.
Oh, that's not next, is it? I'm a bit embarrassed about that one.
Why? Is it rude?
No, it's just because of all the opportunities I've missed in the past. And as you can see, it clamps securely to the workbench.
I'm not too keen on that. Isn't there a freestanding version?
Oh, certainly. Clamp on, freestanding, it's entirely up to you. The freestanding model comes with a base plate and a set of securing bolts.
But can I use this endowment policy as security for a bank loan?
Oh, yes. That's all explained in the paragraph here. You see, after the policy's been in force for 3 years, it's worth...
Oh, well, that's all very well, young man, but I just can't believe that claim about the miles per gallon.
Well, no, that's easily settled, sir. There's an independent report in the order cart. I'll fetch you a copy if you... Yakety, yakety, yak. I blew it. How could we be so bloody thick?
Oh, it can't be that bad. Anyway, you know better now.
Yes. What I should have done is fixed him with a half Nelson, like this. It clamped securely to the workbench.
I'm not too keen on that. Isn't there a freestanding version?
Do you want a freestanding version? Got him.
But can I use this endowment policy as security for a bank loan?
Do you want it if you can? Got him again.
Well, that's all very well, young man, but I just can't believe that claim about the miles per gallon.
If I can prove that it's true, do you want the car? Do you? Do you?
Yes!
Oh, I'm sorry, I got carried away.
Oh, that's all right.
You see, the customer needs to buy, and it's my job to make sure he does, in spite of himself, if necessary.
All right, let's get on with the lesson. What's next? Setting fire to his boots, hitting him over the head?
No. All the rest are ways of leading smoothly to a closing question. Now, whichever technique you use depends entirely on the evasive tactics the customer uses, which is where the old Duke of Wellington comes in.
The Duke of Wellington?
Yes, that's for the customer who just can't seem to make up his mind.
Well, it's certainly got a lot going for it. On the other hand, of course, my present car is good for another year at least. It's given me no trouble so far. And then again, there's the new French car they launched last week.
I know how you feel, sir. You've got an important decision to make, and you want to be absolutely certain of making the right choice.
That is it exactly.
Do you... Sit down, sir.
Thank you.
Do you know what the great Duke of Wellington used to do when he found himself in a situation like you're in now?
No? What?
Well, like you, he wanted to be sure that if a certain course of action was right, he took it. If it was wrong, he avoided it. So, this is what he used to do. He used to get a sheet of paper like this, and then he would draw a line down the middle.
And what's the important thing to remember about how you set out the columns?
Is there something else?
No cheating.
All right. I write yes at the top of the left-hand column, and that means he automatically fills that one in first.
Right.
Now, in the yes column, he would write down all the points in favour of the decision, and in the no column, all those against it. Why don't we try having a go?
Why not? Thank you.
And you just leave him to it?
You must be joking. No, I give him all the help I can. What about this, sir? Oh, and don't forget that. And remember you like the instrument layout?
Oh, yes, that's right. Yes, and I also like the fold-down rear seat.
Mm-hmm.
What about the no list?
I'm afraid that's when the customer is entirely on his own. And he won't do very well. You've got him thinking about all the benefits of what you're selling, and now it's difficult for him to switch to thinking up disadvantages. Give him a minute or two, and then... Right, how are we doing, sir?
Oh.
I see. Now, the yeses, you've got 1, 2, 20. No. And with the no's, we're not doing quite so well with those, are we?
No, only 3, I'm afraid.
Yes. Well, that just about settles it, doesn't it, sir? Now, would you like it manual or automatic?
Neat. By the way, did the Duke of Wellington use that sheet of paper routine?
Can you prove he didn't?
I'm beginning to see you in quite a different light. Right, so much for the Duke of Wellington. Now, what's next? Cautionary tale? When did you use that one, Professor?
The cautionary tale, let's see. That's another close for the indecisive customer. Another way of getting him to face up to the closing question. It goes something like this. It reminds me of a house I used to visit about a year ago. And like you, he'd reached, well, a position in life. And like you, he was unwilling to take the decisive step about life assurance. In principle, he agreed it was a good thing, but he couldn't see any urgency. We had an interesting chat, just as you and I have had, and he asked me to give him a few weeks to think it over, and I said, okay, why not? Do you know, I'll never forgive myself for that.
What happened?
Well, I went back to the house that I'd promised, full of strangers. Books were tied up in bundles, auctioneer labels all over the furniture. Got killed in a car crash. Do you know his widow had to sell up and move in with her daughter?
You said I was covered from the day the proposal was accepted,
Very moving. I can see how that works for life assurance, but could you use it for selling anything else? A car, for instance, or an industrial machine?
Anything at all. You see, the tale doesn't necessarily have to have a sad ending. You can tell the customer how he had the holiday of his life thanks to your car, or how his factory met an export order thanks to your machine, so long as he's got someone to identify himself with.
And all these closes, do they work every time?
Oh, no way. That's why I've got to learn them all, you see. So if one doesn't work, then I try another.
What if none of them work?
Well, there's always this one. The lost sale close.
For the last time, no. Now, will you please leave me alone and let me get on with my work?
Mr. Grindley, I owe you an apology.
Oh, that's all right. We've all got our jobs to do.
Yes, I know, but I did mine badly. See, if I'd done a good job, you'd now be looking forward to getting the extra productivity this machine could give you, but you're not. And it's my fault. Sorry. Can you help me?
Well, perhaps if I can...
So I don't make the same mistake again. I mean, where did I go wrong? Please tell me. I don't want to let my next prospect down in the same way.
Well, if you don't mind me speaking my mind frankly...
Please do.
All right, then. You failed to satisfy me about your company's service backup and spares organisation.
Oh, and that's it. I'm in there.
What do you mean you're in there? Seems to me you're out. He hates your service and your spares set up.
Well, he stated his objection. Instead of saying no, he's now saying no because. And that's great. I can close on an objection.
Well, there's only 3 left. So first, tell me about the process of elimination.
Ah, that's the close for the customer who won't tell me what's bugging him. What does it say in the book?
It says, this close is exceptional in that it requires the salesman to get the customer into the habit of saying no. The reason for this is that in the process of elimination close, no really means yes.
Oh, I get it. So every time he says no, he's really saying yes. I feel there must be something I haven't made clear to you, Mr. Willoughby. Can you tell me what it is you're uncertain about? Is it the integrity of my company?
Good heavens, no. I'm well aware it's very highly thought of.
Oh, then perhaps it's my personal integrity that worries you.
Oh, certainly not. I hope I didn't give you that impression.
Is it the amount of bonuses? Do you feel they're ungenerous?
No, it's not that.
So in the end, he has to admit that everything's okay.
Or he has to come clean with his genuine objection.
Do you think we've earned ourselves a drink?
Why not? We're nearly there.
Right. Now tell me about the think it over close.
Ah, yes. Oh, I'm glad I've learned that one. You know, it's going to change my life. My heart used to sink whenever a customer said,
I'll think it over. I'll think it over. I'll think it over.
I'll think it over. Cowards. Do you know, they haven't got the guts to come right out and say no. So to get rid of you, what do they say? I'll think it over. And the next time you call, they're out, or they're busy, or their phone doesn't work, or they bought it from somebody else. Do you know, I always believed that I'll think it over was the kiss of death.
And now?
And now?
I'll think it over.
I'm delighted. I'd hate you to make a snap decision about an important thing like this. And you wouldn't be thinking it over unless you were really interested.
Yes, that's right. Well, I will give it very careful consideration.
So that you have all the facts in your mind while you're considering it, perhaps you could tell me what it is that I haven't satisfied you about. Is it the fuel consumption?
No, it's not that.
Well, is it the servicing, then?
Oh, certainly not.
And there we go. Into the process of elimination close again. Either I discover he's got a genuine objection, or he has to admit.
No, there's nothing really. I think you've made everything perfectly clear.
And I'm into a closing question. Fine. Well, in that case, this seems to be the one. Now, when would you like to collect it? Every close leads, sooner or later, to a closing question. Just okay that for me, Mr. Grinley, would you?
Can I use the endowment policy as security for a bank loan?
Do you want it if you can? And when you've asked a closing question, there's something absolutely vital it says you need to do.
Well, what?
Shut up.
What?
Not you. Me. Shut up. Keep absolutely, totally silent. Don't say a word, or move, or make a gesture. There's no pressure like the pressure of silence. And one thing's as sure as God made little apples. If you don't speak first, he must.
Can it be ready by the weekend? Yes, I want it.
He'll either say yes, or he'll give me his reason for saying no.
And that could bring us to the final objection clause.
It could.
You know it?
I do.
Show me.
Right, now, first of all, I must listen to his objection very carefully, right the way through to the end. Make sure that I fully understand it. And then...
And until I get satisfaction on those two issues, there is just no sale.
Look dejected. Look really beaten. And say... I see, well, that's it then, Mr. Grundy. Look, just to make sure I've got this straight, this reservation you have about our after-sales service, it's so important that it outweighs all the benefits we've discussed.
I'm afraid so.
Is that all that's standing between us?
Certainly that is all. It is a very good machine. I'm just sorry we can't use it.
I see. Just to straighten me out, would you mind running through it again so that I can see why it's so important?
Why on earth make him do that?
Ah, that's rather clever. Because when he goes through it all again, it can begin to sound a bit silly. Even to him.
Aye. And all the trouble involved. They're getting spares in a hurry, eh? Right? Telephoning. Oh, all that telephoning, yes.
Yes?
Well, telephoning and, oh, what the hell? Oh, it doesn't seem so important.
Or he sticks to his story. It's a genuine objection, so what do I do? Now, remember, he's now admitted it's a good machine, and that his objection is the only thing standing between us. So, what...
You half Nelson him.
So, if I can satisfy you that you can rely on our after-sales service, will you order the machine? And you've got me. I mean, I've got him.
Provided you can satisfy him.
Oh, of course. You only start the final objection clause if you know you can answer his objection. And when you've answered it... Well, that completely settles it, doesn't it? May I have your approval to go ahead?
10 out of 10. So, that's it. Oh, but there is just one thing that you haven't covered.
Ah, we call it buying signals. You see, the customer gives signals showing when he's ready to buy.
Sounds interesting. Can you give me some examples?
Yes, customers may say something that shows that they're thinking of what it would be like to really own the product.
And if my memory serves me right, your machine should just fit in between the flange rolling machine and the cold press.
Or they may touch it as if it already belonged to them.
Oh, that's better. Much more legroom.
Or they may ask you to repeat.
Excuse me, you did say you wanted to be a good closer, didn't you?
Yes, repeat something you've already made clear, just to reassure themselves.
You did say this is the complete family plan, didn't you?
Suppose you don't get a buying signal. I mean, you can't count on it, can you?
Well, I don't know, just sort of judge it somehow, I suppose.
Suppose nothing. The answer's obvious. Close sooner rather than later.
Yes, I know, but what if it's too soon?
Well, if it really is too soon, you just try again and again until...
Yes, that's been my trouble. Not trying soon enough or often enough.
I think you should start right now.
Oh,
Today.
it's the weekend.
That's right.
Oh. Ask for it. Oh, yes. May I have your approval to go ahead? Well, you see, I mean...
Shh. Shut up. Yes.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
you.